Welcome back, everyone, to Neuroalchemy, where science meets soul and where healing becomes a multidimensional journey. I'm your host, Dr. Sarah Young. Before we begin, a gentle note for all of our listeners out there. In today's conversation, we'll explore systems like Ayurveda, Siddha, Kalari, and yogic healing. And if these new words, if they're new for you, don't worry, because we're going to define them very clearly and we're going to walk through how they support physical, emotional, energetic, and spiritual well-being. I'm so honored to introduce our guest today, Guru Yogi Shivan. He's the founder of Indimasi Ayurvedic Healing Village in Kerala, India, a place where ancient healing traditions support the whole person, body, mind, community, and spirit. Thank you so much for coming and talking with us today.
Welcome. Namaste.
Namaste. So, what early experiences or turning points drew you into this lineage of healing and teaching?
Uh, First of all, I would like to give a slight introduction about the words which you said. I think it is a bit strange for a different part of the world. Ayurveda. In Sanskrit, Ayur means life, the reality of life. Then Veda is the knowledge. So Ayurveda is the Sanskrit term which refers the science of our life. Siddha is like an experiential. We know I have a body, I have a mind, I have my universe. But what is beyond all this manifested world? That is Siddha. Siddha is more inspiration, but Veda is more aspiration. That is the difference. So it's a comprehensive science which is explaining the inner world and outer world. Then yogic healing, yes. Kalari is a traditional martial art system which derived from yoga. So these are the three things we integrate here: Ayurveda, Siddha, Kalari. So everything is taken from Indian traditional wisdom. So I am an exponent of these traditions. And coming to the question, how I entered into or selected to be a healer, introducing all these things, because of my own experience. I was into almost all physical things right from my childhood. I was little bit hyperactive child. So when my father, who was an Ayurveda physician, noticed my extra energy, he put me into a traditional school called Kalari, where we have to learn how to use, how to maintain, how to build our body and mind. Kalari. I was a good student there. When I reached my high school, I came to know the global martial art called karate and kung fu. That was the time of Bruce Lee, the legend of kung fu. I was fascinated into that. Then I practiced it. I became a karate black belt. Then I was a boxer, bodybuilder. Then I studied Bharatanatyam, Indian classical music, which is usually meant for ladies. But I wanted to know what is that. Anyhow, I used all these things which were available for me. I was mostly focused on my body and I was very much attached into that. But when I reached to the age of 25, I came to know something was happening and the body was not reacting the way I wanted to build. That was a clash. And slowly I came to know I was, sick. I became allergic to everything, especially when I was working in Middle East. When I get little bit cold air, it's very hot temperature over there. Wherever you go, in the car, in the room, everywhere, the ACs, air conditioners are there. When I get little cold air, I used to, scratch little. Then immediately, body used to swell up. It was a horrible situation, and I was advised to go for steroids to maintain. Then I decided, no, I don't want to be a victim of this dependence of medicine, especially high, like powerful drugs. There, then I saw many things in front of me where the money power and muscle power or the modern scientific achievements are miserably failing, especially in front of diseases and death. That was a turning point. Then I left all my colorful life in Middle East, came back to India. Then I wanted to know what is beyond the body and mind. I studied the traditional science. Then I came to know you can go beyond your mind. That is what is called yoga. Matter and mind are the real thing which we know, but there is an unknown terrain or a dimension. Then I found a person who could guide me to explore that dimension. I mean, we call Guru. Even now, people call me Guru. Anyhow, I found a Guru for myself, and he initiated me in a traditional method how to explore the inner dimension. Then, after the initiation, I went to a forest, stayed there around 4.5 years in search of the reality of my life. One day, I saw my body as I see others. It is called out of body experience. Through systematic practice, when I experienced it, I was so happy that all my fears, anxieties, worries, everything vanished. It was an intoxicated state created by practice. Then I went back to my master again. I asked, teach me, please, how to remain in that dimension. Then he told me it will take time. So go back to your normal life, but keep practicing, and if possible, try to share this wisdom with others. There, I decided to establish something like this, and now I teach people how to use their own inner potential. I mean, the power of mind as medicine, along with the material medicine. So when we integrate mind and matter, there is something which is very, very joyful. Contentment can be attained through that practice. That is what made me coming into this field of healing.
Thank you. And you answered the next question, which was to describe those terminology that you so beautifully described for all of our listeners out there. So thank you for that. For those individuals that are new to these, can you give them some information? Tell them what makes these ancient systems still relevant and effective in our modern world today?
Perfect question. Now, modern science is going to a wonderful height. Yes, materialist or reductionist science is reaching to its peak. Microscopes and telescopes, chemical analysis are trying to explain everything. That is the science of mind, science of brain. Matter is being managed or manipulated or observed through the brain. But we have one more brain, subtle. That's our heart. If somebody asks you who you are, or your good friend is saying that, give me a word, you will stick on that. Then how you will respond? Will you say that I say, or you will say I say, I will stick on to God. You can usually just check whether you will say this I am or I am. Where you will touch? We will touch on our heart only. So there is an understanding and analysis happening in our system through a subtle way. That is the language of heart. So we are managing our system or our life, adapting or depending on two ways of thoughts, way of brain and way of heart. So the brain is mixed or entangled into matter, material science. Heart is into something which is called spiritual science. Okay, so here we cannot ignore mind and matter. Modern science is saying E is equal to M. Energy is equal to matter. Ancient science also saying that Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Brahma is energy, Jagat is matter. So matter is, the material world is keep on changing. Even our body, we know, body is looking solid, but every moment it keeps on mutating. That's why it is called Sharira in Sanskrit. Sharira means Shiryadi, means something which is keep on mutating is called Sharira, body. Then mind, we know mind is there, but mind is keep on changing. So what is beyond the changes? That is energy. This is matter. So now we are forced to integrate this invisible reality and visible world. This is the relevance. So we have to adopt the wisdom of ancient science and the achievements of modern science, energy and matter, or we have to listen the language of heart and brain. This is what is going to happen, and this is the only way for the modern man to have a complete life.
I agree with you. We are definitely more than our bodies. We are each multidimensional beings. We are light and energy and motion, always shifting, always changing. And that is where, there's so much hope, there's so much positivity when you
Yes.
realize you're not stuck, you're not static, you're always in this process of becoming, right?
Yes.
And I love how all the traditions that brought us to where we are. And I love that you're bringing them more forward into the minds of everyone. How do these traditions help a person move from stress or survival mode into a state of more safety and balance?
Again, we can integrate our ancient conclusions and modern scientific analysis. In traditional science, it is clearly stated that when your mind is focused and fixed on a subject or an object, that observed subject or object, the nature, the character of the observed will change. It's called Shraddha in Sanskrit. Shraddha means focused mind. So if I have a cancer cell here, and ancient science is saying that observe carefully. So I keep on observing it. Then slowly the character of the cancer cell should change. Maybe people will think, oh, how can it be? Now come to the modern science. Quantum physics is proving through certain experiments like double slit experiment. When the particles are sent through a certain slit, then they see certain pattern like waves. Then they kept the devices to measure it. The moment they started measuring, the pattern of the molecules changed. Once it is observed, the fundamental structure of the particle is changing. What does it mean? When your mind is observed or mind is focused on a particle or matter, the character of the matter will change. Here, the parallels or the concluding, the meeting point of ancient science and modern science. How to bring that achievement applicable into our life. This is what is called meditation. Learn to focus your mind and fix it on a subject or an object. Then the nature of the observed will change. If I am anxious, I should ask myself, hey, am I anxious? I will come to know, yes. Why am I anxious? Then the anxiety should change. Once it is observed, it will change. If I am overjoyed, I should ask myself, hey, what's taking you to that level? You are overjoyed. Then the overjoy will change. This is what is called samyak in Indian tradition. Means equilibrium, stability, equality, either positive or negative, or pleasure or pain, or gain or loss. Both are the essentials of the materialistic world, but we must know how to handle it through a balance. Once you have the balance, the problem will show you a possibility. The gain will make you aware that there is going to be a loss. Pleasure will give you a pain or awareness that pain is coming. Day will remind you night is there. So we will be able to handle both. That is what is called samyak, means samadhi. Many people think samadhi, higher consciousness, is for the people who are staying in the dense forest or in the deep caves. No, this is the balanced mind must be attained through practice by everybody. So anxiety is only a state of mind. Once it is observed, that will vanish. Fear is a state of mind, molecules. Molecules mean the hormones. When it is observed, it will change. When the fear is changing, the courage will manifest. Everything is within us. Our duty to analyze it, understand it, and explore it.
Yes, it's truly all about balance, isn't it? Everything is always also a continuum, right? So joy and sadness, density, lightness, it's all a continuum. And I might also say that, your brain is the most powerful pharmacy in the world because we ourselves are continually manufacturing a variety of chemicals, some that make us feel great and some that don't, right? And so there's power in having that understanding of our own selves and that balance.
Yes.
Can you share a story or example of someone who's experienced transformation at Indimasi? Am I saying that correctly, Indimasi?
Yes. It is a combination of two words, Asi and Indi. Indi from India, Asi from Tattvamasi. There is a saying in India, Tattvamasi means you are the source of everything. All your prayers are answered from within. That is the meaning. Tat, that whom you are praying. Tvam, you, Asi, are. So in the India or traditional Indian teachings are showing the way towards our own reality. So if you ask me an experience or something we kept as a proof of this power of mind. We are documenting everything now because now the world is based on data. So anybody who comes here with their permission, we keep how they came here and which treatment modalities they had gone through. Then after the practice, after the treatment, how did they feel before and after? One example among all these things, very relevant. One lady came here with vitiligo. Whole the body was patches, white patches. very painful. Then she had gone through almost all treatments, modern and traditional, Ayurveda, this one, homeopathy, modern medicines, everything failed. Then when she came to know about this, she came here. When I analyzed the cause of the disease, all my doctors said it is beyond medicine. Then, Guruji, you try to do something through the mind. So I came to know she was really a rebel. You know why? She started denying everybody, denying everything, including God. The moment I spoke about God, she became very aggressive. She was a devotee of God in India, very much into that, but all of a sudden she became a rebel. You know why? She lost her son. He was at 26. And after the marriage, he got a son also. When the child was having 6 months old, 6 months, this boy felt he got little temperature variation, went to the hospital. Doctors declared that he is having cancer at the age of 26. Now, the doctors couldn't do anything. Within 3 or 4 weeks, the boy died. As a mother, she couldn't accept that. So she felt, if there is a God, why that God became, ruthless to me? Then I don't want a God like him or like that. So she started denying all her beliefs and her rituals, everything. Whatever traditionally she learned, she completely denied because the lost mother was not ready to forgive anything or to anybody. So within 3 months, she felt these patches all over the body. Slowly, it became very, very painful. That's how they started the treatment, everything. Then, the moment I came to know this, I gave a story traditionally taught in India. Everywhere we can see hundreds of stories, and India is the land of festivals and stories. So I told her a story from the epic Mahabharata, showing that or proving that whatever is happening in this material world will be against in this subtle world. Again, I will give a brief story about that, then only you will understand. There was an incident happening in the heavens, according to the story. 8 gods were doing their duties, and once their duty is over, they were chit-chatting, and they came to know there was a divine cow called Nandini, under the control of a great sage Vasishta. So they thought, why the renounced guru is holding a wonderful cow? So all fulfilling cow. They decided to, snatch that. What happened? Under the leadership of Prabhasha, one guy, they went and stole the cow. When the master came to know, gods are doing this, stupid things, he became angry and cursed them. You don't have the quality of God. Though fall from heaven to the earth and you live there as a human being and learn the qualities of God and come back. So one lifespan must be spending on earth. So they were, deprived from there and they were thrown to earth. When they came to know their mistake, they fell on the feet of the Guru, asked for forgiveness. Then Guru said, I cannot take the curse back. I will be, compromising. You go to the mother Ganga, the goddess of water. She will give you a way. Finally, they agreed to come down. So Mother Ganga, goddess, she took the body of a lady, and these guys fell from there. Then the story starts here, where on earth, one king was strolling on the banks of Ganga. Then the maiden came out, very beautiful lady, and they got married with 2 conditions. So lady will do whatever she likes, the king should not object. Then king should not inquire about the details of her life. King agreed. So after the marriage, they got a son. First son was born. Immediately, this lady threw in the water and killed. So king wanted to object because he, gave the word that nothing will be questioned. So she killed 7 children. The 8th one he took. Then king said, "No, I cannot tolerate it anymore. Give my child back." Then Gangama said, the goddess said, "See, this is what happened in the heaven. This is what going on. Anyhow, I liberated 7. This guy is the leader where master said he will not compromise with this guy. He was initiating these 7 guys to do the nasty job. So he should be punished. He must spend all his life on earth." That was the real guy appreciated on earth as Bhishma, the most powerful guy. But in heaven, the most cursed one, on earth, the most blessed one. Then I asked this mother, "Now tell me whether your child has gone to a blessed place or he has to be on this cursed place." Then she got confused. She said, "No, according to the story, my child had gone to a blessed place." I said, "No. As a mother, you are blocking his journey to the blessed dimension." She said, "Why? How?" I said, "You are still crying. You are not letting his soul to move on. He is stuck." There I used my strategy to make her understand that she is being an obstacle for the journey of her son. Then she said, "No, please Guruji, tell me what I should do for supporting my child." She said, "Oh, leave him. Let him go to higher dimensions. Otherwise, he will be completely stuck." Then she said, "I am ready to do that." Then I taught her some breathing techniques. Just told her that these breathing techniques will support him to move on. Very, rigorously she practiced, which was supporting her immunity. So mind changed. She started loving everybody. She was away from that agony. Then medicine started working well. You cannot believe, within 3 months, 90% of the patches vanished. After 6 months, now we are keeping that record, that there is no white patch in the body. This is the power of mind. Autoimmune disease is actually, the cause is in the mind. We have to deal with it. Otherwise, medicines cannot work on that body.
I absolutely agree. And not illness even begins in the physical level.
Yes.
That's just one layer of our experience as humans. And often illness doesn't originate in the body, it ends up there, right? That's
Yes.
kind of its final resting place. And that's when we recognize it as something's going on. But most of the time, it's in many other layers before it gets into the physical. Much of what you teach aligns with modern nervous system science.
Yes.
In your view, how do breath, movement, environment, herbs, and daily rhythm help regulate the brain and the body to influence recovery?
This is what is called Pancha Kosha in Ayurveda and Siddha science. Pancha means 5. Our body is a combination of 5 dimensions. The physical body is the last one, the manifested form. So that is what is called kosha. Actually, kosha, I think the word consciousness evolved from this word, Sanskrit word kosha. It's similar. Annamaya kosha, material consciousness. Everything is our consciousness, but it is solid matter. That is what is called body, the gross manifestation. From that, when we go to subtle one, the second layer is prana kosha, prana maya kosha, the dimension of nervous system, energy body. When we go subtle way, again, the third level is called manomaya kosha, the mental consciousness, mental dimension. Go further, vijnanamaya kosha, intellectual dimension, consciousness. Then go further, the first one is anandamaya kosha. It's the consciousness of bliss, eternal bliss. So this present body, the visible body, is an extended form of the Anandamaya Kosha. The bliss is being condensed to Vijnanam. Vijnanam is condensed to Manam. Manam means mind. Mind is condensed to Prana, the nervous system energy. That pranic energy is condensed to matter, material body. So the disease is manifesting in the material body, but usually it begins in the Vijnanamaya. Anandamaya means one. There is no duality. According to modern science, it's a duality. In India, it is called advaita. See the similarity? Quantum physics is saying that a duality. There are no two, only one. Here it said advaita, only one. Is that oneness is splitting into two. Vijnana means duality. There the real problem starts. Duality means positive and negative, pleasure and pain, then gain and loss. Actually, the problems are starting there. Then it will come to the mind. Mind, if I am going to get a serious disease, definitely I feel that I should go to a medical checkup. Something is happening. When I go to the medical checkup, they say, no, everything is fine. Your heart is beating well, your blood pressure is okay, everything is fine. Good. Again, from the mind, that disease will permeate to the pranic body, energy body. Then I feel some problem here and there. Again, I will go to the doctor. They will go through the checkups and no, everything is fine. But once it manifests in the material body, there will be some damages, visible damages, even though it's being observed through the microscope. Then it is a disease. But that is the last dimension of manifestation, usually beyond healing. If we know how to deal with it in the mental plane, it is easy and possible to handle there. If it is not handled over there, at least when it comes in the pranic area, we can do pranic healing. I don't know which way you understand, but mind is manifesting as prana. Yadha mana, tatha prana. There also we can handle it in a proper way. If it is not attended over there, yes, again, it should be handled in the material level. So these are the 5 layers. As you said, yes, you are right. Where disease is beginning in the 4th plane, then the 4th plane, slowly it is coming down to the 1st plane. I mean, the Annamaya Kosha, the material consciousness. If we want to deal with it, we should attend it consciously, not compulsively. Consciously you attend it, everything is possible. That's what I say. No disease is beyond control if you become aware of that. Unfortunately, our system of education is based on information. If I have a problem, I will go to a doctor, ask for an information, what to do. Then doctor will say, do this. I will do that. But I never become aware of that. If I become aware, that will be a proper healing.
I love that. It all begins with consciousness and awareness of all of the levels. What does inner transformation mean to you beyond just symptom relief?
Inner transformation is the real change. Like, as I said, if I have a pain or a problem, I should attend it, become aware of it. When I become aware, I will become conscious about it. Once that consciousness is observed, that will change to different dimension. This is what is called transformation. Just for example, if I keep a glass of water in front of you and asking you, be aware of, attend it, do observe it consciously. What does it mean? You are focusing on that. Try to analyze from which molecules this matter evolved. That is a scientific eye. You look at, when you focus your mind over there, you will come to know, no, this is not water. This is a combination of two gases, hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. That transformed. Immediately the manifested form vanished in your mind. No more water, only two gases. Transformed. Then observe that gases. Then you will come to know they are evolved from subtle molecules of heat. Then gases also vanished. Observe the heat. You will come to know that's from light. Observe it. Then you will come to know nothing is there. It is quantum coherence, modern science. What does it mean? Or quantum entanglement. Here it says energy, aha, means the Brahma is dynamically expanding something which is beyond your comprehension. This is what is called from matter to energy transformation. So, having that comprehensive knowledge, actually, that is the real purpose of this life. If somebody asked you, hey, what's the purpose of your life? I asked to myself, when I had gone through this many ups and downs, first I asked myself, who you are and why are you going through all this thing? What is the purpose of this life? I didn't have an answer from a source or from a book. Then I decided to verify. This is what happened. That was the turning point for me to this material life to a spiritual dimension.
I love that you are offering all of our listeners an invitation to observe the deeper design, if you will, that produces all of the reality that we experience. What are the biggest challenges you see in people who come to you from the Western world?
The main challenge is over dependence on materialist science or material science. All are taught to listen or get information, follow external things, and there is no specific instruction for attending the inner reality. It's like everybody is asked to construct buildings, but never taught how to maintain or how to do the foundation. So the construction is going on, but no foundation. What will be the nature of that building? This is what is the main challenge I am facing. People are coming to me, they are complaining about, oh, the wall is not correct, it's scratching, it's shaking. I say, come on, there is no foundation. What is foundation? They're asking. That is the main challenge. Foundation is the inner awareness. That is why modern world has everything now, but most of them are stressed and fear, unnecessary competition. People are fighting each other or competing each other instead of compromising without knowing why. Because they lost the inner balance. But this is not happening in India. Why? Because traditionally we are taught to have two parallels, two pillars of education. First is spiritual consistency. Like instead of competing, learn to compromise. This is what, instead of depending on others, depend on yourself. This is what, as a child, even I was instructed, rely on your strength, work on your strength. Then that is what is called spiritual education. Then we will go to the school for material education. So these two parallels, two pillars will grow together. When it reaches to a peak, what will happen? Naturally, when I reached to age of 25 or 30, I was forced to connect these two pillars. There I got a solid, stable personality. But unfortunately, many are not informed about this spiritual education. Completely ignored. But material education is going as a pillar, it is going to the peak. When it's reached to certain height, it starts shaking. Then this person doesn't know how to handle it. There the stress, there the competition, there the fear, everything is beginning. So we should attend this problem. That is what I am facing. Anybody who's coming to me with a certain, what we can say, incurable disease, they believe that it is beyond cure. Why? Because they lost their inner consistency and confidence. That's my main challenge. There, I have to delete their preoccupied ideas of, like losing. They are a loser. They have the fear that, oh, I am, what is that? I am not I am entangled into, I am caught by this disease. No relief, no escape. That surrender, the feeling of that surrender is the real problem. First, I have to delete that feeling of surrender. I have to prepare that person for fight back. Then the person is ready to fight. Then everything is easy.
Yeah, for many, that inner reality is kind of foreign territory, um, because we're kind of conditioned to look out rather than in, especially here in the Western world. And it's important that we both honor and balance the relationship between those inner and those outer worlds. If you could teach one simple daily practice that anyone can do, no matter where they live, what might that be?
I initiate and I request everybody to spend 24 minutes maximum in the beginning. Sit somewhere, anywhere in the world, whatever may be the lifestyle, responsibilities, and busy schedules, but take 24 minutes away from all commitments. Sit somewhere with a crossed leg and close eyes, look inside, and naturally try to hold the breath for some time. Take a deep breath, hold it as much as possible, and release consciously. Inhale consciously, hold it consciously, exhale consciously. It will be difficult in the beginning because when we try to hold the breath or look inside, countless thoughts will come. Many people are informed, oh, meditation or inner observation, you should fall into voidness. These are information. Forget about everything. Be honest with yourself. Be responsible with yourself. Unconditionally spend 24 minutes sitting with the cross leg, observe your breath. That is what. Why 24 minutes? There is a circadian rhythm which is beyond our attention. Earth will take 24 hours to make a full rotation. Within that 24 hours, there will be a systematic fundamental change happening within us. So take 1 minute from each hour, focus it unconditionally. You are deliberately trying not to think other things, but you are trying to think about the breath. Here we have to be very careful. Breath is the link between mind and matter. As I told you earlier, mental body is transforming to physical body through the dimension of breath, pranamaya kosha, consciousness of breath. So that link can play a significant role in your comfortable, healthy existence. So if you ask me, the basic thing everybody should do is just spend 24 minutes, sitting on floor with a crossed leg and observe the breath.
I love that. So I I like to use this as an opportunity um, to offer our listeners a challenge for this week going forward, that they try that each day, to take those 24 minutes and to really be present and consciously inhale, consciously hold the breath, consciously release the breath, and spend some time with that. Um, so, that is the challenge for the week for all of you. What do you believe that the modern world has maybe forgotten about healing?
We have not forgotten about healing. We are unaware of healing. It is there. The potential is there, but we are not attending. We have to do that. The moment we become aware of the inner potential, that person's ignorance, fear, the competition, everything will vanish. It's like darkness. Darkness is a reality once there is no light. So people are into the darkness of pain and competition and anxiety. How to remove that? Just like a lamp. Once it is lit up, no more darkness. That is what we have to remind people. Or no need to remind again, that reminder is coming from outside. It is everyone's responsibility as a person to remember that, or remind ourselves about the light, the significance of light and darkness. Learn to handle that. How be aware of this duality. That is what we have to do.
Absolutely. Energy follows thought, and it's important to cooperate with what is, right? And to remember ourselves into the light that we all are. After hearing this conversation, what is one truth or maybe one reminder that you hope stays with people from our talk today?
Only thing we have to remember, we are not only this mere body. This is a matter, manifested form of energy. What is energy? Infinity. That infinite energy is being manifested and presented as a finite being. That reality must be remembered, acknowledged, and deal with it. When you feel that I am a mortal, yes, enjoy that life of mortality, but be aware of that. That mortal being is a temporary manifestation of immortal infinity. That is the balance of finite and infinity. So explore it. Everybody is that. That is what is called, again, we started this on Ayurveda, the science of your own existence. Be aware of it, explore it, and be happy.
I love that. Consider that you are more. Consider it. And as my spiritual teacher says, there's always more, etc., etc., etc. Guru Yogi Shivan, thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom, your lineage, and the depth of the Indamasi healing tradition. Your clarity and your grounded presence offer so much to anyone that's seeking a more integrated way of living. Thank you so much. This is Neuroalchemy, and I'm Dr. Sarah Young. And until next time, may you keep listening deeply to your body, your intuition, and the very depths of your soul. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Namaste.